I find it simply staggering that this man here, Tobias Ellwood, kind of hung on for so long after disgracing himself by going to Afghanistan, coming back and telling us that the country had been transformed under the Taliban's rule. Well, it may have been transformed under the Taliban's rule, but the Taliban is still utterly oppressive, and the Taliban is still utterly loathsome in the way that it treats people. And there are still a huge number of people who helped our forces, who we have left in despair in Kabul, and we are wringing our hands in some sort of strange mantra without doing anything. So yes, Tobias Ellwood may not be the worst person on the block, and he may have been taking an optimistic reading of the situation. But he should have known from his own experience in the army that he'd made a severe mess by trying to put a gloss on the Taliban leadership and our relationship with the Taliban. Of course, we should have an embassy open in Kabul. Of course, we should have a consulate there at the very least, which is functioning so that we can process the applications of people who want to seek security in our country. But of course, that is not on offer, because people who want security in our country have to come to our country in small boats or whatever method they choose, because we are too indolent and too arrogant to provide this service. Of course, we should have representation in Kabul. But that doesn't mean that we should be praising the Taliban. And Tobias Ellwood went too far. He went too far. And what I find extraordinary, even opium production has increased under the Taliban. So I don't see how he can think, in fact, that the Taliban is so much better than the occupation forces. The occupation forces, no occupation is a good thing. But the Taliban is not a good thing either. And yes, we should be dealing with the Taliban eventually in some form, but not by suggesting that it's a good thing. We should be talking to them in some form, and we should have an embassy there. But it's the gloss that this silly man put on the situation, which is such a failing and such a shock from somebody who knows better and should know better. What I find even more shocking is that, like so many people in the present government, he hung on until the last minute, until he was effectively told to go. He should have been offering his resignation the moment he set foot back on British soil, knowing that he had made a serious diplomatic mistake. But I think honour is missing in the present Conservative government. I think honour may even be missing across Parliament. But it's certainly not evident in the actions of Tobias Ellwood. I'm pleased he's gone.